Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome so much to another episode of the Fighters Rep, man. And we've got a real special guest on tonight, man. Somebody I'm really excited to get to know a little bit better. And somebody I'm really excited to allow you guys to get to know better here in Knucklehead Nation. None other than right there on your screen, Justin Iron Man Moss. How are you doing, Justin?
Good, good. Thanks for having me.
Man, we love having you. We're very excited to have you, Justin. Part of the reason, obviously, we're so excited to have you on is because you're going to be main eventing Fighters Rep 10, Justin. You've got, a whole lot of experience in the kickboxing world. You've got a lot of experience in the fighting world, period. So what I kind of wanted to start off this show with, which is typically what I do with everyone, is to ask you, in your opinion, if you can give us who Justin Moss is, who the Iron Man is in a nutshell.
Yeah, I like to think that I'm a guy that moves forward. I don't shy away from the exchanges. Um, I'm someone that's able to dig deep, and add my own little style and flair. To fights and make it exciting for the fans. I'm someone that shows up every single time. And I'm not afraid to meet somebody in the middle, and it's something I take pride in.
that's and that's something interesting that your opponent, the other half of the main event, Chris Culley, alluded to. Man, he said he did his deep dive on Justin Moss. He said tough guy, Glory veteran. You've won more than you've lost. I believe you won your last couple fights at Glory. Am I right, Justin?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, right. So, he said, and as a guy that's not afraid to fight, and that kind of helps Chris get up. Where does that fighting style come from, though, Justin? You mentioned you're proud of that. You're proud of being able to stand in the pocket and come forward and bang with people. Where's that come from?
you know, uh, I think just growing up, I was kind of the small guy. Um, all my friends were a lot bigger than me, so I think it kind of gave me that tenacity to kind of dig down and not quit. I also have three younger brothers, so we grew up fighting a lot, and yeah, I think it's just kind of just that mentality, kind of the Moss mentality. My dad did a great job with me. Taught me not to back down. Might be smaller, might be outweighed, but you only lose if you don't try. So,
Right, right, right. So you're one of four brothers.
yep.
Wow, wow. I can't imagine how much fighting went down in your household growing up.
Yeah, it was daily for sure.
And Justin, you mentioned, you grew up fighting and whatnot. Where did you grow up? You've got your Muay Thai of Colorado shirt on. Obviously you're representing Colorado in this next fight. You're coming into hostile territory here in California, but are you born and raised in Colorado?
Yep, born and raised in Colorado. Basically lived in Colorado my entire life outside of just college, and yeah, this is home. And so, if he wants to make it California versus Colorado, I'm fine with that. I mean, I got a lot of respect for the guy. He's got a lot of fights. That means he says yes to fights. And so, that's enough for me to respect him. And, if it turns into this Colorado, California thing, if that's what he wants to do, that's fine. He, he and I are going to figure it out on the 13th. So, I look forward to it. Like I said, I respect him, but whatever it takes to get this done, I'm willing to do.
I absolutely love that. I love the way you're so nonchalantly talking about it too. It's kind of intimidating, to be honest with you, Justin. Speaking of making it a California, Colorado thing, brother, this is not just for the Fighters Rep title, our first ever kickboxing title, but it's also the IKF got on board. Of course, it's their rule sets, the unified rule set with the IKF, which is the only rule set that we use here at Fighters Rep. They love the fight so much, Justin, that they're making it for the IKF Pacific and Mountain titles. So I guess, whoever wins this thing is the man from Colorado to California. How does that make you feel?
No, I mean it's exciting, especially coming off this last year where opportunities were shut down. I'm sure everyone can kind of understand the feeling of, I feel like one of the best years of my fight career kind of got stolen and put on hold. And so I know he's probably feeling the same thing. Excited for this opportunity. I know I'm super grateful for the opportunity, and I definitely plan on bringing these home.
Man, we're super grateful to have you on, Justin. I gotta say, man, as somebody who's only really dealt, we have international and fighters from out of state, but typically they reside here in California. You're one of the few that we've dealt with from outside of state, and as the promotion expands, I'm imagining that's going to happen more. But I gotta say, man, the level of professionalism, the willingness to want to fight, just not giving us a hard time, just wanting to fight so bad. I can see that in you. And I love that, man. I love that. I think that, you're going to bring that mentality into the ring.
Yeah, definitely. It's time to capitalize on an opportunity. Everybody sat on the sideline for the last year. And, if coming out to California, helping that promotion grow, giving me the opportunity in my career, it's something that excites me, and I'm going to be ready to go.
We're very excited to have you, Justin. You mentioned, Chris Culley has a lot of fights. He really does. He really does. He has a ton of fights. He was an MMA champ. He was a Muay Thai champ. And now he's looking to do it in kickboxing against the Iron Man. What can you kind of tell me about Chris Culley from what you've, found out about him so far?
To be honest, I don't watch a lot of tape. I've seen a couple glimpses. My head coach handles all that, and then it all makes sense when we get in there. I do know that he has a lot of fights. I know, he's a tough guy. He's, looks like he's a strong guy, and everybody hits hard at this level. So, we're going to meet in the middle, and part of the fun for me is, when we do meet in the middle of the ring, figuring it out. He's going to try to pick up what I'm doing. I'm going to pick up what he's doing. And that's what's going to make it fun, and that's what keeps me doing this.
Justin, so, you did mention you have an aggressive style, but, would you say you're also a technician to a certain extent? Because, I don't think somebody with the success that you've had is just kind of, going in there and winging shots.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. We're both vets. He's going to be setting traps. I'm going to set traps. And it's just going to see who lands first and who lands clean. And so I definitely, I can dig deep and we can get in some exchanges, or, we can measure each other out a little bit and figure out, how the finish is going to come. But I think we'll both be looking for it, and I plan on seeing it. So,
Justin, I'm getting the feeling that you enjoy digging deep. You keep bringing it up. You keep talking about digging deep. I get the feeling that that's kind of like an adrenaline rush kind of thing for you. Is that something you enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, I think just, with all my fights in Glory, and some of these fights, it's just been a consistent thing where, on the local scene, sometimes, you can get by, not at 100%, not, throwing or not performing at your best. And fortunately, in Glory, I kind of learned the tough way, that, this game is rough. So you're going to have to dig deep. You're going to have to, find it in you to find a way. And, I think that's something that really changed, with my Glory experience.
How so? That's very interesting. I would love for you to expand on that for me.
I think, obviously in Glory, the stage, can be a little intimidating. And just the quality of fighter is so much higher than your normal fighter. And so a mistake will be capitalized on. And definitely don't make that mistake twice, or you're going to wake up in a ring. Fortunately, I haven't had to do that. But I have had a couple fights in Glory where, I knew I was down on the cards and had to make something happen, and was able to do that. And so really this last year's just been shifting kind of that mentality, game planning a lot better, and then just quality repetitions has kind of been the focus of my head coach, Oscar Martinez. And I feel like I'm twice the fighter I was when I was fighting for Glory today.
That's awesome, man. And, I'm really excited to hear that because I do want to see, the finished product at Fighters Rep 10 on August 13th. Ladies and gentlemen, you can get your tickets in the link below if you're anywhere near Southern California. Definitely come. Not too many tickets left, Justin, if I'm being honest with you, man. I think we're going to have a sold-out crowd again, like we did at the last show. And if you guys can't make it, you could always tune in right here on YouTube by joining the channel. It's just $9.99, and then you can cancel anytime. Also, be sure to follow Justin Ironman Moss. It's Ironman Moss on Instagram. Am I right?
Yep, that's right.
Very cool. So I wanted to ask you about that, Justin. That was my little shameless plug there. But I wanted to ask you, Ironman. Where does this nickname come from? You mentioned you haven't had to wake up in the ring yet. Is it durability? Where is this nickname coming from?
It was given to me when I first graduated college. I started at a gym, and I can't. It was something along the lines of kind of this pretty boy that shows up and then all of a sudden he gears up and kind of transforms, or something along those lines. I didn't like it too much. It's just kind of, I've just had to deal with it.
Yeah.
But now I think it definitely fits me a little better. I've grown into it and accept it now. So.
I mean, do you think, would you consider yourself a durable fighter? I mean, because it does seem to me that, you're a very durable guy.
Yeah, definitely. I've had quite a few fights where, I've had to, obviously deal with some stuff that happened in fights, some broken bones, this, that. And I just kind of have that mindset that we'll deal with it after. Keep moving forward and find a way.
Love it. Justin, you've not just fought kickboxing, you've also fought MMA. I mean, you've had a range of different combat sports you've competed in. A very tough guy, willing to fight anybody, just like Chris Culley, your opponent at Fighters Rep 10. Part of the reason I'm excited about this bout. But, what is the preferred trajectory for the Ironman? I mean, do you want to stay with kickboxing? Do you want MMA? What is it that you prefer doing?
Yeah, no, definitely kickboxing. Definitely open to Muay Thai as well. Coming from Muay Thai, Colorado. But kickboxing is more my style. I like to strike. I like the pace. MMA was fun while it lasted, but MMA was definitely not, where I really felt like I was gonna excel at. And so I feel real comfortable kickboxing and hope, doors keep opening. Winning this belt will definitely line me up for another one. So, that's the plan.
Well, that sounds really exciting, man. And, obviously we'll hope to have you back in the future as well. We got to make up for all that lost time the past year and a half.
Yes, definitely.
Justin, man, you mentioned the Colorado, California thing. Chris Culley, we interviewed him recently. He said that he feels, that the guys in California, more times than not, will beat the guys from other states. Even mediocre guys, he goes as far as saying. You've got your Muay Thai of Colorado shirt on. You're representing. I kind of wanted your opinion on that comment. You mentioned you guys are going to have to figure it out on August 13th. But, if you wanted to expand on that or say anything about that, I'd love to hear your opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, I would tell you the exact opposite. And it's expected from him. But like I said, he and I are going to figure out, between the two of us, Colorado is a hotbed for MMA. There's a lot of really good gyms here. A lot of the UFC guys are here. And so, for him to think that Colorado is just, kind of a stepping stone or a stepbrother, I think you might want to look a little closer at it. But regardless, like I said, I wouldn't expect anything else
Right.
from him. So.
Right. Well, Justin, I really appreciate your time, man. It's been really interesting getting to know you. I wanted to ask you before I let you go, man. Is there anyone you wanted to shout out? Are there any sponsors or people that supported you that you wanted to recognize before this big fight on August 13th?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, Oscar Martinez, Muay Thai Colorado, really revamped. I've been with Oscar for about 8 years, and Oscar actually comes from California. Muay Thai of America.
I see. Okay.
And so, we have that lineage basically based out of California. But Oscar's been huge. The gym's been huge. All my sparring partners. And I've had so many sponsors over the years, maybe not for this fight, but just everybody through the years has pitched in, helped out, and made this possible. Dr. Ben Cowan with Action Spine and Sports. I've gone to that guy with a lot of bumps and bruises, and he's helped me stay on fight cards and stuff. There's so many I couldn't even begin to name them, but those two stand out for sure.
And how about your dad? You mentioned he got you right. He got you ready for this kind of lifestyle, huh?
Yeah. And he'll be there front row. So we'll be there ready.
Well, I look forward to meeting the Moss clan, brother. Is there anything you want to say as to what the fans can expect from Justin Moss on August 13th?
No, I mean, what the fans can expect is somebody's going to show up and they're going to see a main event. He's a high level fighter. I'm a high level fighter, and once that bell rings, we're going to figure it out and put on a show. And if there's one thing I can promise, that I'm there to make it exciting, and I hope he is too, and I don't expect anything less.
I absolutely cannot wait, Justin. Thank you so much for your time again, man, for joining me on this little show. And ladies and gentlemen, again, get your tickets at FightersRep.com. There are not too many left at all. If you can't make it, if you're in Colorado, you want to represent and hold down for the Iron Man, you can tune right in to the YouTube channel here and join the channel for just $9.99. You can cancel after the pay-per-view if you'd like and watch Justin Moss go at it, man. I think this is going to be an absolutely incredible championship main event. Justin, thank you again so much for your time, man.
No, I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Ironman Moss. Be sure to follow him on Instagram at Ironman Moss. You guys have a great night.